Welcome to Night Shadows. I'm Stewart Best, where the paranormal is normal, where that which you thought you knew, you didn't, and where the future can be known if you know exactly where to look.
Well, good evening, everyone. This is kind of a flash update because of things that are going on over there in the Middle East that are not being reported basically in American news. I want to start it out with a bulletin from Hal Turner, which has been pretty much vetted now and appears to be very real. And then we got Larry on board for comments as well. World News, he says, bulletin, full war alert. Israel orders opening of bomb shelters. And then in big red letters, missile launch, Syrian air defenses engaging Israeli missiles launched from aircraft over Lebanon. Now, this is what the report says. Nobody knows for sure, I guess. Hostilities have commenced. Then the update was at 3 p.m. He said Israeli Defense Forces moved to full war alert. And Israeli orders opening of the bomb shelters, detecting suspicious Iranian military activity inside of Syria. Now, there's a comment he makes here that is kind of ominous, if this is true. Rumors are that once Trump makes the announcement that he's going to withdraw, a bombing campaign of terrible magnitude will begin by the U.S., UK, and France, targeting all Iranian assets, both regular army troops and proxies, throughout Syria. The rumors further say the bombing campaign will not cease until all Iranian assets are either destroyed or dead. It is not known what role Russia and its advanced fighters, bombers, and any aircraft defenses will play in any such action. So that's where we should start, I guess. Larry, what have you rounded up? Doesn't sound too good.
No, it's matter of fact, EPCA files reporting today said Israel missile defense batteries have moved all across Israel's Golan facing the Syrian border in Lebanon. It says Israeli Defense Forces call up IDF Select Reserve Forces, so their reserves are coming online. There was a Yahoo News report that says Syrian TV reporting Israeli missile attack near Damascus, reported Israeli missile attack on the Syrian army base, and the Syrians shot down 2 missiles. Now, there's another report that just came out of Fox News, Associated Press, from a news source called Hava Pasha. It says, missile attack on Iranian military base at Kishwa, Syria, 10 miles south of Damascus. Syrian air defense shot down 2 missiles. And so we've got those reports. Now, of course, you know Drudge headlines. I'll just read them real quick. You can comment. Trump nukes Iran deal. Explosions near Damascus. Israel army on high alert. Bomb shelters activated on the Golan Heights. Unusual movement of Iranian forces. What do you think, Stewart?
Yeah, I think, Iran already said, and Putin has been amazingly quiet, hasn't really said anything at all, but Iran said, look, if you're going to cancel this deal, it's going to have consequences. And, of course, Trump is not going to back down. He never does. And, of course, there's, large amount of controversy over it. But a trusted, I'll go back to the Hal Turner report, a trusted source inside Israel is reporting to me as of 9:30 a.m., that was this morning, the United States, United Kingdom, and France are once again deploying fighter jets and bombers around Syria. And then he makes another mention of I am now able to positively confirm very large movements of U.S., UK, and French military assets into the Syria area over the last 24 hours. Squadrons of U.S. warplanes, advanced surveillance drones have been working around the clock to track the slightest military movements around Syria and along the Lebanese Mediterranean shores. In the last few hours, Britain has transferred another squadron of advanced Typhoon fighter jets to the Middle East, with France adding Rafale or whatever, Mirage 2000 jets. And some of these flights reached their forward positions through Israeli airspace. He says, I can now positively confirm also multiple B-52s have taken off from Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean earlier today, destination unknown. This is, then he says, totally unconfirmed speculations. These planes were headed to Syria. The air distance is 3,681 miles to Damascus. B-52s can fly slightly over 600 miles an hour, meaning flight time of about 6 hours. Sounds to me like this is a setup. This has all been known. It's all been coordinated, and it was timed directly to send a message to Kimmy, the whiz kid in North Korea, as well as to Iran. What do you think on what he has to say? Have you been able to verify the troop movements? Because evidently this is troops as well.
Not particularly, other than, the last number of shows we've talked about the number of U.S. troops inside Israel and the missile batteries coming into Israel. Now, the last 24 hours I've been getting reports that some people are being flown out of Israel to other locations to be protected. And Israel, of course, they're ready for a massive missile attack upon Israel itself. A lot of the UK, the UK troop movements and others, French, I think were arriving in Iraq, in some location near the Iraq and Syrian border. And we do know that Russia had put in a bridge over the Euphrates that Syrians and Iranians were trying to cross, and we bombed them about a week ago. Remember that? And killed a number of them.
Yes. Yep.
So this has kind of been ongoing anyway. But there are reports coming out from the UK news that NATO is warning of a massive Russian cyber attack that's about to happen and trying to prepare for it, and says it could just simply cause aircraft to fall out of the sky. So they're very concerned about what Putin may be doing, but he's not saying anything.
Yeah, this is the ominous part of it. He isn't saying a word. He's being very, very quiet. Here's another, this is a prophecy, and I think it's worthy to read about. This was issued before Trump's deal today of withdrawing. In the coming days, the king, which is Donald Trump, will reverse the treaty with the Persians, and the beginning of Jacob's trouble will begin. My son, hear now and write, great distress is soon to come upon this nation, America. Those who thought themselves wise have sown the seeds of this nation's destruction. In the coming days, the king will reverse the treaty with the Persians, and the beginning of Jacob's trouble will then begin. Those whose wisdom is of this world will be made fools, for they did not seek me, but sought the king. That sounds very, very ominous. And he says, darkness of the coming days will take all peoples and nations by total surprise. No one expects what will happen, but I will tell my remnant prior to the event. And this event will lead to the kickoff event that I have told many will happen. I am the Lord, and I exercise my judgment in the earth. I delight in seeing the lost come to me, and in the coming days many will. So anyway, that sounds kind of ominous. The king will make several mistakes in the days ahead. that will open the doors of destruction on this nation. War is coming home. Choose the right side. Seek me and repent. Repent, you stiff-necked people. I love you, my remnant, and I love you, my lost people. Pretty blunt. It appears to be what's going on. Go ahead.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was going to share a couple of dreams with you I had the last few nights. I texted my wife and told her about them, but night before last, I had a dream that a black bear grabbed me in my house and was holding me basically around my neck, and I did slip out of its grasp and got out the front door. And then last night I dreamed about mama bear and a small cub black bears that were around the house, and I was trying to warn people, but nobody was listening. And then Stewart, today before the show, my dog was barking outside, and I went outside, and there was a black bear, not over 40 feet from me, standing by a tree. And so I'm wondering if this is some kind of warning about Russia. Maybe Russia's about to do something, and we don't have a clue, and nobody's taking the warnings.
Yeah, I would say that you're absolutely right. I would say that's a warning about Russia, and this would go in with this deal or this prophecy that something is coming that no one would expect. I think this is a setup because Obama came out immediately and slammed Trump. And when you really back off from this a little bit, it's obviously now a trap that's been set for Trump. They want to get rid of him. So he makes a couple mistakes. We get involved in a war. Maybe they take out New York. Remember all the prophecies about Manhattan being destroyed either by a nuke or by a tsunami that comes in and basically wipes out New York. And on it goes. Well, it seems to me, now I don't know if this is true or not, Obama gets slammed after declaring that Americans want him elected for a third term. And Obama set up his shadow government only 3 miles away in his newly purchased home that he uses as headquarters. And you got Perry running around down there, undoing anything Trump tries. And I'm beginning to think that while Obama and Perry are doing what they're doing, we know Perry said that don't worry about Trump. He's not going to be around much longer. So this is probably a setup, I believe. The whole thing is a setup for the masses of the people. I don't know. What do you think? We got about a minute and 20 seconds.
Well, Obama is very strategically placed by the New World Order in his position, and Barack Hussein Obama is Iran's best friend. So This is probably already a game that's set in motion, and we're just watching it. People need to be aware. The next few days, keep an eye on the Middle East.
Yeah, I think this is. I think it's been triggered. And Israel is going to do some things, probably the Israeli mistake of the bots, because you got to remember that at the time of Jacob's trouble, Israel waxes very, very thin. So that means she all but is destroyed in this upcoming war. Anyway, folks, wanted to let you know what's going on. And heads up, really, this is not good. And I think we're just at the very, very beginning of something, and it will reach America. And don't think for a minute we're going to escape this, because we're not. That prophecy may or may not be true, but anyway. Thanks a lot, Larry, for coming on, and if anything breaks, we'll certainly come on tomorrow night as well. And anyway, thanks everybody for listening, and we will see you in the very near future, the Lord willing. So good night, everyone. Take care.